Imagine for a moment a room bathed in the amber glow of a late Tuesday afternoon. The dust motes dance in a single shaft of light. There is a clock on the wall. Tick, 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 and the faint scent of Earl Grey tea. In this room sit two people. They are the same age, they live in the same neighborhood, and they share the same physical silence. The first person feels a crushing weight. To them, the silence is a vacuum, sucking the air out of the room. It is the lonely afternoon, a reminder of a phone that hasn't rung, a house that is too big, and a past that is receding like a tide. To them, the silence is a prison. The second person sits in the exact same chair, hearing the exact same clock, but they feel a profound velvet peace. To them, this is a sacred sanctuary. It is the first time in 70 years they are not required to be a provider, a parent, or a professional. They are simply being. Why is the same silence a prison for one and a paradise for another? We spend our entire lives as fixers. We try to solve our problems by rearranging the furniture of the world, seeking more money, more friends, or better health. But what if the greatest secret of your senior years is this? The most painful problems you fear: loneliness, the decay of the body, the fading of legacy, do not exist in objective reality. They are manufactured in the factory of the mind. Today, we are going to bridge the iron-willed wisdom of the Roman Stoics with the effortless flow of the Eastern Tao. We are not here to help you survive your later years. We are here to help you master them. In modern psychology, we call the difference between our two people cognitive reframing. It is the ability to change the frame around an event to change its meaning. Eastern philosophy takes this further. The Tao, the way, teaches us that the truth is inherently neutral. Imagine a storm. To a farmer with parched crops, the storm is a blessing. To a traveler with a leaking roof, the storm is a curse. But what is the storm really? It is just moving air and falling water. It has no moral quality until a human mind arrives to label it. The video we are referencing today highlights a powerful analogy. A party is neither good nor bad. It is an assembly of people and noise. One person finds it exhilarating, another finds it insufferable. If the goodness or badness resided in the party, everyone would feel the same way. Since they don't, we must conclude that the experience is created entirely within the perceiver. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, writing in his private journals, Meditations, while on the war-torn frontiers of the empire, noted, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you tell yourself, 'I am an old man discarded by a fast-moving society,' you are dipping your soul into a dark, acidic dye. Your reality becomes a junkyard of what-ifs and used-to-bes." But Stoicism teaches us the dichotomy of control. Most of what causes us agony is outside our control. The economy, our children's choices, the passage of time. The only thing we truly own is our prohairesis, our power of choice and judgment. When you realize that the world cannot make you miserable without your consent, you reclaim your throne. While Stoicism builds a fortress of the mind, Taoism invites us to become like water. Lao Tzu, the legendary founder of Taoism, taught that the world is like a vessel. We often focus on the clay of the pot, the physical stuff. But Lao Tzu reminds us, it is the empty space inside the vessel that makes it useful. As you age, you may feel like you are becoming empty. You have retired from your career. Your children have moved away. Your physical strength is not what it was. Society calls this loss. Taoism calls this becoming a vessel. For the first time in your life, you have the emptiness required to be filled with something higher. You are no longer a doing, you are a being. I want to pause here for a moment of connection. Our community spans the entire globe, and there is something beautiful about knowing we are all breathing together in this moment. Are you listening to this podcast in the quiet clarity of the morning, or perhaps in the reflective stillness of the evening? Please, leave a greeting from your city in the comments below. We would be honored to know where our global family is gathering. We must address the elephant in the room. Loneliness is not just a feeling, it is a physiological state. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, reports that social isolation is associated with a nearly 50% increased risk of dementia, a 29% increased risk of heart disease, and a 32% increased risk of stroke. From a psychological perspective, humans are obligatorily gregarious. We evolved to be in tribes because a lone human on the savannah was a dead human. Our brains are hardwired to perceive being alone as a threat to our survival. The solving method, the external trap. Most people try to solve loneliness using external tools. They turn on the TV to drown out the silence. They scroll through social media, which only increases the feeling of missing out. They force themselves into social interactions that feel hollow. This is like trying to cure thirst by drinking salt water. You are trying to fix an internal perception with external noise. The dissolving method, the internal alchemy. This is where we apply Wu Wei, the Taoist concept of non-striving or effortless action. Instead of fighting the silence, you dissolve the judgment of the silence. You stop seeing being alone as a deficit. Through the Stoic practice of the inner citadel, you realize that you are never truly alone if you are a friend to yourself. In real-world terms, this means when you sit in that quiet room, you don't think, "Nobody called me today." Instead, you think, "I finally have the silence required to hear my own soul." Scientifically speaking, when we practice this kind of mindful reframing, we actually change our biology. Neuroscientists have found that social pain activates the anterior cingulate cortex, the same region that processes physical pain, like a broken leg. By using Stoic and Taoist perspectives to view silence as solitude rather than loneliness, you effectively deactivate this pain center. You aren't just thinking positively, you are neurologically healing yourself. You are lowering your cortisol, stress hormone, levels and boosting your immune system. Aging is a biological fact. Your skin will wrinkle, and your joints may ache. But, as we said earlier, suffering from aging is an opinion. Amor Fati, the love of fate. The Stoics practiced Amor Fati, not just accepting your fate, but loving it. Imagine your life as a book. Would you want a book where the character stays the same on every page? No. You want a story with a beginning, a middle, and a majestic conclusion. Each wrinkle is a sentence written by experience. Each ache is a testament to a life that was actually lived. To love your age is to realize that you are currently at the peak of your wisdom. In many Eastern cultures, and even in the Tuvi, Eastern astrology, traditions, the later years are seen as the golden transition, a time when the worldly ego dissolves and the spiritual essence shines through. The power of the soft Taoism teaches us water is the softest substance, yet it wears away the hardest granite. A young tree is stiff and breaks in a storm. The old willow bends and survives. As you age, you lose the hardness of youth, the ego, the aggression, the need to conquer, you are becoming like water. This is not weakness, it is the ultimate form of strength. You are learning to flow around obstacles rather than crashing into them. One of the greatest fears of the senior years is the fading of the past. We worry that our stories will be forgotten, that our hard work will disappear. But look at the sunset. Is the sunset sad because the day is ending? No, the sunset is beautiful precisely because it is the culmination of all the light that came before, all the heat of the noon sun, all the colors of the morning. They all gather together for one final, magnificent display. You are that sunset. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I want you to perform a small ritual. Do not ask, how will I fix my life today? Do not look for problems to hammer down. Instead, ask yourself, which of my problems are merely labels I have pasted onto neutral events? If your joints ache, that is a neutral physical sensation. The label, I am falling apart, is what causes the suffering. If the house is quiet, that is a neutral environmental fact. The label, I am lonely, is what causes the heart to ache. Dissolve the labels, and you will find that you have always been free. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a process to be experienced. You are a bridge between the generations, a vessel of wisdom, and a living testament to the resilience of the human spirit. We believe that every life is a masterpiece in progress. If you have a story that needs a home, a memory that wants to be heard, please share it with us through the link below. Whether it is a lesson learned in hardship or a moment of pure joy, we would be honored to tell it. Until next time, walk in the flow of the Tao and stand in the citadel of your own peace.